Tech in 5.
Full stack fast. Master web development essentials in 5 minutes. Build a backend with FastAPI in just 5 minutes. Let's dive in. Welcome to Full Stack in 5. Today, we're setting up a backend from scratch using FastAPI and Docker, two powerful tools that streamline the development of modern web applications. Our focus in this session is to create a fully functional backend with endpoints that return mock data. We'll do this without integrating a database or adding authentication mechanisms just yet, making this an ideal starting point to understand the basics of API development. Now, let's set up our Docker environment to run our FastAPI application. We start with our requirements file. For our application, we're using FastAPI for building our API and Unicorn to serve it. These are specified in our requirements file and will be installed into our Docker environment. Next, let's walk through our Docker file to understand how we've configured our Docker environment for the FastAPI application. First, we use Python Slim as base image because it provides a lightweight Python environment, which is ideal for keeping our container efficient and fast. Next, we set up our working directory inside the container. This is where our application code will live inside the container, and all subsequent commands will be executed from this directory. Then, we copy the requirements file into the working directory inside the container. Now, we install those dependencies listed in requirements file. After setting up our dependencies, we copy our application code into the container. Finally, we define the default command to run our application. This command starts our application using Unicorn, a lightning-fast ASCII server, and points to our FastAPI app instance, and ensures it can be accessed from outside the container using port 8000. Now we'll create our main file and walk through setting up a simple application. Here, we import FastAPI from the FastAPI module and create an instance of it. This app object is the heart of our application, handling all the requests and responses. Our application will serve some mock data. Let's take a look at our data model. This list posts contains dictionaries, each representing a blog post with an ID, title, and content. We will use this data to demonstrate our API endpoints. Typically, a blog application requires endpoints to handle CRUD operations: get for retrieving posts, post for creating new posts, put for updating existing posts, and delete for removing posts. For this tutorial, we'll focus on GET requests to list all posts and retrieve specific posts by ID, using static mock data to simplify our initial setup. First, we'll create an endpoint to fetch all posts. By decorating the function, we define a route that listens for GET requests on the post's URL. When accessed, it triggers the GetPosts function, which returns all the posts as JSON. Next, let's add another endpoint to fetch a specific post by its ID. This route uses a path parameter post ID to capture the ID directly from the URL. Inside the function, we search our posts list to find a matching post. If a post is found, it's returned. Otherwise, an HTTP 404 error is raised. Now, let's bring our backend to life. We'll start by building our Docker container, which packages our application with all its dependencies into a standalone image. Next, we'll run our Docker container to start our FastAPI application. With our application now running, let's open a web browser to test our API endpoints. First, we access the list of all posts. Here you can see all our blog posts as JSON, thanks to FastAPI. Next, let's retrieve a specific post by its ID, and there it is. The details of a single post, fetched in real time from our FastAPI backend. This demonstration shows how our Dockerized FastAPI setup. You've seen how easy it is to build, run, and interact with a FastAPI application, making it an excellent choice for modern web development. And that wraps up our backend setup. With just a few lines of code, we've defined an API capable of serving dynamic content based on request parameters. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned as we explore more features and expand our application in future videos.
Stay tuned for more videos on Tech in 5.